What's up, everybody? This is Master Ian Gamer, and we just got the trailer for the brand new hero, Vendetta. And yes, the leaks were correct. 100% so far, the leaks have been spot on with who this hero is. So let's go ahead and break down the newest hero, Vendetta, in today's video here today. Starting off first and foremost with just the character herself. We finally get a look at her. We finally get to see what the hero herself looks like. More or less, she looks like what we expected, or at least what I expected. Very Junker Queen-esque in terms of her tough, muscle, mommy sort of vibes, but still fairly distinct. Doesn't look exactly like a clone of Junker Queen, and I gotta say, overall, I actually kind of like her design. It's not typically my personal cup of tea in terms of character archetypes, but I like it. I like the design well enough. I think they did a good job. She definitely has that Roman aesthetic going for her, which I really like, and I think it suits her, obviously, based on what we know. In the short itself, we get to see her fighting a big robot, showing off some fancy moves, which we'll definitely be breaking down in just a minute, since certainly this is teasing some abilities of hers that we'll be seeing in game. But during the short, we also get a little look at her backstory, explaining who exactly she is, and just as outlined in the leaks, she is the daughter of Antonio. The flashback scene she gets outlines that she was a very rambunctious and vicious child, only to be tamed by her father Antonio, who, as many of us know, was a previous head of Talon before getting assassinated by Reaper, who at the time was Gabriel Reyes. Basically the whole story of the Retribution Archives mission. And now Vendetta is sort of a byproduct of that, where she's seeking vengeance upon those who killed her father. So definitely a tie back to some older Overwatch lore. In terms of tying the character into the past story events, I think this is actually a really cool direction to take a character, tying back into those old archive missions, and specifically the older Talon era, pre-Doomfist and Reaper and all of them. And while the leaks actually cover quite a bit more information about her story beyond what's even shown in this trailer, I won't discuss that here because I know some people don't like hearing the leaks and whatnot. But if you haven't seen it already and you're curious to see what else is in store for her now that it's basically been confirmed, I would recommend checking out my previous video I did covering the hero back when she was still being referred to as Lupa, where I break down the leaks in more detail and, well, now that we know they're true, gives us an idea of what to expect ahead for her. Anyways, getting on to the abilities now, because boy, do we certainly see some of them teased here in this trailer. Obviously, the big thing she wields is the giant sword. The sword is super cool looking. It's a great part of her design. And as I had suspected, it is not going to purely be a melee weapon. Multiple times throughout this trailer, we see her slashing energy basically with it. It definitely has some sort of ranged mechanic, very similar to Fire Strike, I would assume, in terms of how it actually functions as an ability in game. Although this sword gives off a black and white energy sort of aura thing. I don't really know what to call that even, but I really like the design of it. The black and white is just such a striking and unique design for that kind of mechanic, and I'm really excited to see what that looks like when used in game. But certainly there's going to be a ranged element of it, slicing through the air at range with the sword itself, along with obviously being able to stab things physically, melee-wise. And we see a lot of her jumping around, doing some acrobatics, cutting, slicing, and dicing, with one point even showing that she has these little thrusters on her back that gives her a sort of boost when she jumps, which, again, I'm more than willing to bet this is going to be part of her kit, before performing a huge upward, I don't even know what to call it, just like a throw the sword and then jump to the sword type maneuver. I feel like there's probably a term for this based on some Marvel hero or something like that, but I'm going to go ahead and wager this is likely her ultimate. It feels like the ability in-game is probably going to entail her throwing the blade, hitting things, then jumping to where the blade is, turning around, and slashing backwards. So probably like a big, powerful AoE damage type effect that we see in a super fanciful design here. Also, the fact that the energy wave that comes out of it causes a sort of like vertical, again, it's like Fire Strike in the way it's just like a vertical line of energy that goes across the ground. I'm assuming we're going to see that as either her ultimate or at the very least an ability she can wield in the game. But for those of you who are worried that she was going to be strictly a melee-based hero, yeah, no, this trailer more than confirms that she will indeed have plenty of ranged options. And I'm willing to bet her entire kit does consist of mainly sword moves. We don't see her do any like other ability type things beyond just wielding the sword and jumping around. She doesn't have like drones she throws out. She doesn't have any like weird mechanics in play. It's mainly going to be sword based stuff, I assume. Pretty similar to how Doomfist is all gauntlet based stuff that he does. So I'm definitely expecting her to mechanically be pretty similar to him in a lot of ways, but probably with a bit more ranged components. And again, with the whole energy beam thing she throws out from the sword. Now, curiously, despite us seeing all of this in the trailer, seeing all the mechanics we're likely to see in-game for her in this video, Blizzard has yet to confirm whether or not Vendetta is a damage or a tank hero. This is fascinating to me that they've gone, first of all, this long at all, reaching the point of the trailer being released and not having previously confirmed whether she's a tank or a damage. And now the trailer itself is already out and they're still being tight-lipped about it. Even on social media, people are posting at devs and the Overwatch account itself asking, is it a tank hero? Is it a damage hero? And basically Blizzard just isn't confirming one way or the other. It's really, really weird. And my assumption, not only considering all the leaks that have pointed toward her being a damage hero instead of a tank hero, is that she is in fact a damage hero. I think with like 99% certainty at this point that she's going to be damage, and that the reason Blizzard doesn't want to say anything yet is because, well, people kind of want her to be a tank hero for the most part, I assume. And so if they say, oh, it's a damage hero preemptively, well, I think a lot of people might get a bit upset about that. And so I'm assuming it's a very, strategically coordinated silence to not officially reveal her role, even though it's kind of already been revealed by all the leaks and whatnot. But just an interesting little note that even still at this point, Blizzard is not telling us officially what her role is yet. And I don't know. It's an interesting decision on their part to keep it silent for this long, but they're going to have to tell us sooner than later because her trial is coming out and unfortunately is not this weekend, as many people had speculated. It's actually going to be starting on November 26th and running until December 1st. This was confirmed in the description of the trailer on YouTube. It is going to be a bit longer of a hero trial, starting on a Wednesday as opposed to a Friday or Thursday like it typically does, but is a bit later than we were expecting and does also overlap with the American Thanksgiving holiday, which is unfortunate because myself and a lot of other people are going to be pretty busy that weekend, hanging out with family and stuff because it's a big holiday. But hopefully I'll get some time still to stream playing her once the trial does start. And of course, either way, the trial is going to force Blizzard to reveal what her role is. Is she a tank? Is she a damage? I'm pretty sure she's going to be a damage hero at this point. But either way, we're going to see. And in the meantime, I would love to know your thoughts on the new hero, Vendetta, who's now been officially revealed. Almost. Again, we still don't know her role yet. But I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you excited for this character? Are you eager to get your hands on her and play her for yourself with that hero trial starting on November 26th? Or are you let down? Were you hoping she'd look different? Were you hoping she'd act different? Expecting different abilities? Either way, I would love to hear your thoughts. And as always, be sure to subscribe, hit up that bell icon, follow me on X, and join my Discord server to hang out and never miss any of my future Overwatch 2 news, streams, and other content. Special thanks to my YouTube channel members who help make these videos possible. And if you'd like to join them to earn some cool rewards, then just hit that join button down below. Check out my second channel, Suki MIG, for a fun streaming side project of mine. I've always got new videos and shorts going up over there. And otherwise, this is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.